let's move on.
Dallas Cowboys. Quarterback Dak Prescott.
Whew.
Joey?
All right. Well, we saw a gruesome injury, and I'm a person who does not like watching anything that looks like that. I guess I'm a little squeamish with that. Please don't at me on Twitter about anything. Please don't send me clips of Dak's injury. I think he's back on track, though. Dak's going to be great, in my opinion.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think a lot of opinions, honestly. He was on pace to, rewrite the record book in terms of yardage for, the first 4 or 5 games before he got hurt. Yeah. He's going to be great. And his ADP, I think, is about where it needs to be. He's about middle of the pack because you're a little worried about the injury. Sure, that's fine. It was a really bad injury, so there's still reason to be worried, but Dak's going to kill it this year.
He's got all the weapons he needs, and he, like you said, he was MVP caliber type season before he got hurt. For fantasy purposes, I think he was the quarterback 1 until he got hurt.
I think so, yeah.
Quarterback 2. He was putting up 30-point games, and he
was
looked
nothing.
awesome. Yeah, and I don't see how it can get worse with all the talent he has around him. So I'm all in on Dak this year.
Agreed. Let's talk about the talent.
Zeke and Pollard at the running back position. What do you think about these guys this year?
So Zeke is being underrated, I think. Actually, we just talked about Saquon and all the running backs you would take. I think I'd still take Zeke above Saquon.
Wow.
I think I would because it was a different team last year. You can't really judge last year. You didn't have Dak. The offensive line was marred with injuries. I think Cowboys are really healthy now, and they've produced. The whole team has produced for the past couple years. I think Zeke's back to being an RB1, consistent RB1 this year. Tony Pollard, on the other hand, he's a little dangerous. He's going to take some carries away, and I think McCarthy is starting to use him as a wide receiver in OTAs.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Which also carries forward my theory that Mike McCarthy hates running backs. So,
well, Zeke was producing before Dak got hurt last year. I do like Zeke this year. I think he definitely has a better season than last year. Like you said, it's a completely different team. Pollard, he's definitely interesting, especially if Zeke gets hurt. He's going to be extremely valuable.
Yeah.
I would definitely handcuff him if I have Zeke, and I do not mind drafting him in those later rounds, Pollard, because his value will skyrocket if something happens to Zeke.
100%. 100%.
You want to get into these stacked wide receivers?
Let's talk them.
Cooper, Lamb, Gallup.
Whew. They are loaded with talent. Jerry loves his talent, and he sure has it. Amari Cooper has been, you look at the beginning of Amari Cooper's career in Oakland, and he wasn't in Vegas. He was so back and forth between a wide receiver 1 week and then a wide receiver 5 week where he gets one catch for 5 yards on 3 or 4 targets. I think he's got a better quarterback, obviously, and he's been producing ever since he got to Dallas. He's got more consistent working with Dak, and I see him being his floor, I think, is a low-end wide receiver 1. In this offense.
Yeah, I think I agree. He was putting together huge games before Dak got hurt, too. Love Cooper this year. I love Lamb this year. Lamb is extremely talented. He had a great year as the wide receiver 3 on that team.
Yeah. I'd say he's probably the wide receiver 2.
You think so?
I'd put him above Gallup.
Yeah. I guess I was just thinking he kind of started as that wide receiver 3 role last year and was still producing. Now Gallup, I don't like Gallup. I would not target him on any of my drafts, any of my teams. I've never liked Gallup. I I think you like the Shepard argument. I think you know exactly what you're going to get if you draft Gallup.
You're right. You know what you're going to get with Michael Gallup, but even then, he was still producing. He produced without Dak. He had these blow up games of like 10 targets, 100-something yards. I think he had a really big game. I can't remember the actual game, but I remember him having like a game-breaking touchdown for like 50-yard touchdown, which he has speed. And I think he has a role in this offense because it's a high-powered offense, firing on all cylinders. So I think Gallup has some value, but it's going to be late round. It's going to have to be very late, a flyer kind of pick for Gallup. But I think his ADP is much higher than I would take him.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb, he's got a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of potential. He actually, I think, if you look at the stats from last year, he was like 2 or 3 receptions away from being the reception leader on the team last year behind Cooper.
Yeah. He's fantastic. Extremely talented. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think the order is obviously Cooper, Lamb, Gallup, but I think Amari Cooper may be one of the safest wide receiver plays this season.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on to these tight ends, Jarwin and Schultz. I don't really like these guys. I feel like they're a little overvalued. What do you think?
I don't know what to do with them. Dalton Schultz had a decent year last year. Blake Jarwin was supposed to be, he was Simba. He was lifted with Rafiki as to be the next great tight end. But obviously that didn't work out. And Dalton Schultz still produced in a Dakless offense.
Yeah.
But who gets the starting role? Is it Jarwin or is it Schultz? I don't know, honestly. I'd rather grab somebody else in my drafts. I'm probably not looking at either one of them, but they do have a lot of upside being in that offense. So they're tempting. But are they fool's gold?
I agree. They're tempting. If we knew who it was going to be, I feel a lot better. Like who's going to get the targets. Because I think they will produce. But I don't know who it's going to be, and I'm not going to take a chance with a split tight end target. So moving on. Do you want Dallas defense?
God, no. Let's move on. Next team.
All right.
All right.